In this video, I'm going to share with you why mobility training is so important. Now, I started getting awareness over mobility about 4 years ago now. And when I was in Singapore at this event, right, I was there and I was at this event and the guy was talking about joint health. And he said to me, he said, he trains contortionists, you know, for Cirque du Soleil. He trains gymnasts. He trains all these high-level athletes. And he said to us, well, I was in a room full of like 80 yogis. What about 60 yogis and like 20 other like health and fitness professionals? And he said, at some point in your life, all you want to do is feel good in your body. Like you won't want to do like a barbell back squat 3 times body weight, like heavy bench press, like all these pull-ups and all these muscle-ups and handstands. He said at some point in your journey, in your life, your only goal with your body will be, I just want to feel good. And that stuck with me until now, because that's such a profound statement, because he's worked with the highest level movers, like ballerinas, like Cirque du Soleil contortionists, and he said they're all in pain because they can't control their body, right? He said the modern day sports are all made up. This is not a natural movement for humans, right? Like playing baseball, that's not a normal human movement. It's why all the baseball players have shoulder injuries, right? Like sports is made up. This is not how we're supposed to be moving. And he said, the cost of being the best at your sport is your health. And I was like, wow, that's a profound statement. He said, the cost of being great at your sport is your health. And I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, that's so true. Because, you know, you see all the top sports players that get injured just from wear and tear of their bodies. Like, what's his name? Andy Murray, like hip injuries and stuff. Like, you know, like all of these sports players get all these injuries. And it's because, most importantly, the sports are just man-made. But second of all, it's like a lack of joint care. And this is why I was at the conference. So joint health precedes everything else, right? So our joints is controlling our muscles. So if we're not working on our joint health, then our muscles aren't going to be able to contract in the best ways, and our other muscles are going to be compensating for our lack of movement in the joint itself. So for example, if you've got tight hips, the tension doesn't just stay there. It moves into either your knees or it moves into your lower back, right? So this is what we were talking about, and this is what he was mentioning to us, is like, you need to focus on your joint health. Because hip replacements, knee replacements, frozen shoulder, these are not normal things, but they have become, unfortunately, normalized in especially Western culture, because you know, people are not moving. Like right now I'm sitting in this chair, but most people sit for way too long, myself included. Like I'm not outside of this group. Like we all sit for way too long. Like 8 to 10 hours a day is not how nature intended us to be moving. Like that's no movement, right? Like we're supposed to be in the wild, like in the forest and shit. Well, we got a westernized culture, so we're all sitting down every day. So most of us have short hip flexors, right? We've got tight hip flexors, we've got tight lower back, all lower back issues. Weak glutes, like we haven't got any strength in our butt because we're always just sitting on our butt, relaxing the muscles, and wonder why we have weak back. If you have weak glutes, your lower back is going to take most of the force, because the glutes is meant to be supporting your body, but because like the glutes is the biggest muscle group in the body, right? And if they're weak, then where is the muscles going to be? The muscle is going to be in your lower back. So your lower back is going to be actually working harder because your glutes aren't doing their job. See, this is the problem with the body. Like if one muscle group's not working, the other muscle group is going to take all the brunt of the force and the work. This is why most people have lower back pain. And there's another side of this, which is the emotional side of pain, which I'll go into in another video. But that's another massive topic, right? Like trauma stored in the body and the emotions that are stored in your body as well. That's a massive part contributing to pain. But a big part is also just the physical body, right? So when he was describing this, he was talking about the biggest joints in the body: ankles, knees, hips, elbows, wrists, shoulders, and your neck, right? That's 7, I believe. 7, those are your biggest joints in your body, right? So there's a routine that I have. If you type in Aaron Darko mobility routine, this is a routine that I learned from this event, and it takes all your major joints through their full range of motion every single day. And I believe me when I say, when I started doing this, I started realizing the value of doing it, right? Like literally How many times do we roll our neck through its full range of motion every day? How many times do we roll our shoulders, our scapula, our shoulder blades through their full range of motion every single day? How many times do we take our shoulder through its full range of motion every single day? Most of us never even use our shoulders. We're just like this, hunched over, typing, or we're driving our car, right? So our shoulder is always in this position, or we're doing boxing, right? And boxing, just this position here, right? So if you're not actually moving your shoulder, you're not actually using your joint properly. And you're doing bench press, you're doing all these pull-ups. Like I used to do lots of bench press, lots of pull-ups, and I got injured, which is one of the reasons why I went to this event in the first place. I was like, fuck, I clearly don't know what I'm doing because I got injured, so let me educate myself on anatomy and joints. Oh shit, we need to actually work on our joints before we do all this stuff. Oh, okay. We need to take our joints through our full range of motion every day to stave off the frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is just a result of not moving your shoulder for its full range of motion, right? Like if I don't use my shoulder joint, what do you think is going to happen to it, right? And so actually my dad's partner had frozen shoulder, and I had her just do a rotation, like an articular joint rotation, like a full range of motion, internal rotation, external rotation. And she started doing that and she started feeling better. My mum, I have a video on my YouTube of my mum. She had chronic upper back pain. And the problem was her scapula, right? The back of, again, my coach, he said, if you train the back of your body twice as much as you train the front of your body, most of your issues would go away. And it's so true because we live in this forward slunched world, right? Everything's on the front of our body. We're training everything on the front of our body. Our chest, our biceps, our abs, our quads, everything on the front of the body. But the back of the body, we often neglect. And we should be training that more because we never train it. So my mum had a chronic upper back issue when I was in London. And what I did is I showed her the exercise of strengthening the scapula, right? So first of all, we need to move the scapula, right? Shrug your ear up, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, squeeze like you imagine you're squeezing a pencil in between your shoulder blades. So you're going to pull your shoulder blades back and squeeze, and then come down, forward, up, squeeze, and do that. And I had her do that 5 times. And then I had another exercise that strengthens the scapula. It's called a scapular push-up. So I had her on the floor and then just squeezing her shoulder blades, right? So strengthen her scapula. She did that for a week and then her injury went away. But she was prepared to pay hundreds of pounds to a physiotherapist over a series of sessions to do something that in a couple exercises I was able to get rid of, right? And now she just doesn't have any chronic pain. And usually pain is just a manifestation of weakness, right? So this is why mobility is so important to focus on, especially as you get older, because knee pain, for example, is a result of you not using your knees. Like, think about it. Like in your normal day, how much are you actually using your knees? No one is. Like we're sitting down, our knees are not in fully flexed positions. We're not doing deep squats. Like our knees are not getting the exercise and the fluid they need. So they're going to tighten up, right? Same thing with the hips. We're sitting down, our hips are locked up, jacked up, and we're not moving our hips. So our hips become weak, right? The muscles around our hip become weak, and then our lower back starts taking most of the force, and our upper back starts taking a lot of the force, and we're not moving our back, we're not moving our body, we're not moving our joints. The spine is also another joint that needs to be moved, and if we're not moving it, then we're going to get issues, okay? So this is why I'm so passionate about mobility training, because knee replacements and hip replacements should not be commonplace, and there's no reason for people to use the excuse of I'm getting old. I'm getting old is a cop-out. That's an excuse. You can have reasons or you can have results. You can't have both, right? Like all the people that use that excuse are the people that I don't see them in the gym doing their mobility work, because again, they don't know about it. First of all, having the awareness is the first step to solving a problem, right? And then the second thing is actually getting the solutions that you need to solve this. And so, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm going to share more videos about, like, you know, for example, I just shared some stuff just now about scapular stuff, and you know, there's some stuff we can do for the knees, for the hips, just to open it up and get them moving again. You know, because the worst thing you can possibly have is to get older and realize that you can't move your body the way you used to. And it doesn't have to be like that. That's the thing. Most people think it does, but it doesn't. It's just that you don't know what to do right now, which is in your capabilities and capacities with your current mobility level to actually negate that from happening, right? So improving the way you move right now is going to help you stave off that ultimately costly surgery that you don't want in the future. That you maybe have family members or friends who have had knee replacements, hip replacements, shoulder replacements, and it's not normal, right? It's a result of not moving the joints, not strengthening the joints over a consistent period of time. All right, so in the next few videos, I'm going to share with you how you can get this handled, right? Depending on what issues you have. Most people with shoulders, hips, and knees. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon. I hope you found this helpful. If you want more help with this, if you want to know exactly how I'm helping clients like yourself get in amazing shape and also feel better in their bodies and actually gain more mobility in their bodies and more range of motion in their joints, like the shoulders, the hips, and the knees, and that's just to name 3 of them, right? And then obviously helping you decompress your spine from all the sitting. When you sit, you're compressing the spine, right? So for example, one of the exercises that I have people do is hang from the bar. So just hang from the bar for a minute at least, and you're just gonna decompress the spine. Okay, so you're actually gonna get taller by doing this because your spine is so compressed every day. And when you hang, you're actually decompressing it and elongating your spine. And a healthy spine is a healthy life, right? Like a Chinese proverb is, you're only as old as your spine. So these are all the things that I'm geeking out on. And every day I'm studying this stuff. Like I have a lot of knowledge already, but I'm always trying to add more and more and more because it never ends, right? And the more I learn, the more I can help you and get out of pain and move pain-free, okay? Because that's the goal, right? We want to feel comfortable and confident in our bodies. All right, so if you want help with this, go and click the link below this video. I have a free web class where you can learn more about this. And yeah, DM me on Instagram at @TheRealDarko if you need direct help. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you want any more videos, whatever issues you have, let me know in the comments below and I'll get to it and make some videos for you. So let me know what you want to hear as well, because this is going to help me make more videos for you. All right, so like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Click the link below this video for more information on how I can help. All right, ciao.